Hello, everyone, and welcome to day 23 of this 30-day Living an Authentic Life Challenge. Today, we're going to have a conversation about grace because I want you to try giving yourself the grace that you give others to be amazing. You deserve the love that you give away, but some of us are too hard on ourselves. And I understand when it comes from sometimes the environment that you grew up in telling you that you were not good enough. Who you are at the core of your being was not sufficient. And so you got this thought process that you had to be perfect in order for success to show up. I want you to give yourself the grace and space that you give others. When the elements of who you are have been whittled away, it's hard, I get it. But the flaws that you possess, there's something special about those flaws. See, your flaws can often connect to my flaws. And in that way, we can build a community that supports us because I recognize them and I can give you some grace. But I want you to recognize them so that you can give yourself the grace. You know when you can see your flaws in someone else. It's not that we are really good at hiding our flaws. I know for years I tried to hide mine. But when you recognize them in someone, it gives you the opportunity to pause a little. Give them a little bit of grace so that they can get through the process. This Thanksgiving, and happy Thanksgiving for those of you that are celebrating it. For those of you that are not, I still want you to take a moment. Pause. Give yourself the grace and space that you give others to love you more, flaws and all. This Thanksgiving, when you take the time to pause, well, this day, because I realize not everybody's celebrating it, but on this day when you pause long enough until the soft tears in your heart that you may not have let out comes to the forefront. Because y'all, I remember in the aftermath of my divorce, it took me 3 years to stop crying, just to tell myself that I love me. I love my smile because someone made me think that something was wrong with my smile. I love my eyes because someone made me think there was something wrong with my eyes. See, when you're in an environment where it seems like everything about you, just the basics of who you are, seems to get whittled away, you do the same to yourself when they stop. Or you switch an environment and it stops. I don't want you to keep banging up on yourself. I've heard it called I forgot what it's called now. The awful chatter, the pity patter chatter, whatever, that part, that internal chatter that is not supporting you in your journey, stop it. In this moment, pause. One of the things that I did to help me deal with my internal chatter that was causing me heartache, that would not allow me to give myself grace and space, was to look in the mirror. Then I looked in the mirror for 5 minutes and just told me that I love me for those parts of me, the things that I thought was wrong, the things that people made me think was a flaw that would not allow me to succeed. I only stood there for 5 minutes because I couldn't do anymore. But it might as well have been 5 hours as long as it took me to get it out my soul. Try doing the mirror exercise for yourself. Look at you. Love you. Until you can stop, maybe like I did, crying. Just looking at the one part of who you are and loving you. Here's the last thing I want to leave you all with. I recognize that some of us are eating, and you may all catch this on a replay, so let me know your comments down below. One of the things that helped me get into a better position was recognizing in the very beginning, God decided to put us in a protected place. The first thing we learn about mankind is that God put Adam inside of a garden. That garden was put around Adam to protect him. But God also told Adam to protect the garden. When God put man in a protected place, he also told man to protect that place. But Adam didn't have to do it alone. Because see, God walked with Adam in the cool of the day, whispering to him how much he loved and appreciated him. When you let God walk with you in the cool of the day, reminding you how amazing you are, because God knows your flaws. He knew they were there before you did. and He loves you anyway. Allow the Creator of the universe to love on you the way others may not have loved on you. Because when He created the garden, gardens are beautiful, gardens are lush. That protected place that God intends to have protected is a place inside of you that God intends to have protected as well. So let God do what He does. Whisper how much He loves you to your soul. And then let Him teach you that the flaws that you see, the cracks in your being that you think others are going to constantly talk about, just like a diamond has cracks in it, we find the beauty of that diamond when we see the light shine through it. Let God's light shine through you. And as His brilliance show up in you, your cracks, your flaws, it is there that you will be amazing. Because God deemed you before the beginning of time to be amazing. So happy Thanksgiving. I'm still continuing the rest of this conversation. I encourage you to join me. Go to my website, TanyaEHood.com. There you can click under the registration tab. And this is going to be shorter than it has been before because I got to get back to celebrating as well. But I wanted to take the time today to pour into you grace. Because we have to remember to give ourselves the grace and space that we give others to be amazing. In the meantime, this is Tanya E. Hood, walking in my purpose, and I want you to do the same.